Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. The name is Olele Salvador, and this is the Olele Salvador Network OSN. As you can simply call it or simply put it, you can also call me Mr. DTS or DTS for short, and we can get along just fine. And today we are back again with another DTS intelligence report. The DTS intelligence report simply looks at conversations that are not just on the surface, as you may think or as you may see. We try to bring other angles that you haven't paid attention to. We'll try. The word is try. Okay. And that is why we always try to maintain our margin of error at 3%. So today is no different. We are talking about the Ghana Music Awards, and now Telecel Ghana Music Awards, aka TGMAs. This year will be 25 years since they've been an award scheme that has also served as a validator, one true validator of your favorite and my favorite artists over the years. And this year, best believe that it's going to be bigger, greater, and better. But this year has also brought before us arguably one of the most controversial conversations surrounding the Artist of the Year categories. Not because some people did not get nominated. I mean, there is that argument too, because some people think an artist like Amerado should have seen, um, you know, a slot or should have been given a slot in the art of the year, but that's a different conversation. I don't want to get into that. I want to get into the conversation between Stonebwoy and King Promise because I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I've seen a lot of their fans going at each other and releasing receipts, dropping this, dropping that, numbers. Yeah, guy. And yes, yo, people are bringing receipts. People say, hey, my guy, we've been here before you came. We've been working. Now, before I get into the intertones of the conversation, I want you guys to understand that the TGMAs, first of all right, looks at the works done by the artist in the year under review. And the year under review in this case will be January 2023 to December 2023. Moving on from that. So that you should understand because if you don't get it, then forget about it. All right. Okay. Now the conversation is centered around the artist of the year. And ideally, people tend to make arguments outside what the category definition for this particular coveted category is about. And that is why we need to go to the organizers of this awards website and read what exactly is required to become an artist of the year. Okay, so we're going to do that together. So let's go to the website and let me tell you um, what the definition for that category is. Now, before we even get into the website, I need to also give you a fun fact that until 2008, the most coveted award or the most coveted category of this award scheme was the popular song of the year. They changed that criteria in 2008, and that was the year Caucasian won Artist of the Year. In fact, if it was still based on the old criteria, okay, Reverend Lenny Akpadi of Jehovah, you are the Most High, you are the Most High God. Yeah, that song or that artist in the person of Reverend Lenny Akpadi would have been um the overall winner. Okay, but let's get into the category definition from the website of GhanaMusicAwards.com, and it states that the artist of the year is the artists are judged by the academy, the board, and the general public as the artist who released a hit single or album during the year under review. And so, like I said, for the year 2024, the year under review is definitely going to be the year 2023. So that is the first part. That is the main meat, or that's the main dish, right? Yeah, that's the main dish. And aloe, that's the main ingredient. Anyways, that's the main body, or that's that is the core at which, or the core of which we will have to make our argument. Okay, so you have that in mind. Now there are two other peripherals that make up the full argument of this category definition, and that is A, the artist needs to have a high audience appeal and popularity. Hmm. Are we there? You are there? Okay. B, this must be also one of the artists with the highest nominations in the year under review. Okay. So first of all, you need to have a hit album or a single. You need to have a high audience appeal and popularity, and you must also be one of the artists with the highest nominations and in the year under review. So now let's break it down to the first part. The first emphasis on the single, the album. I think as for that, we can argue, bar a few names that are not in there, that the artists that have been mentioned had either a hit single or an album in the year under review. Okay. So we don't want to spend much time on that. We won't go spend much time on that. Let's go to the higher audience appeal and popularity breakdown. Now, this is where I think we need to pay attention to keenly, because the question is, how are you going to measure that? What are you going to use to measure that? What exactly are you going to use to measure that? And I see some people really shooting a mess when they try to measure that, because anybody at all can make an argument. So my team and I looked around, we looked at the conversations that were happening, and we decided to put together what would be, or what I think could be, fair metrics to ascertain who has the highest audience appeal or popularity. And so work with me as I share with you a few pointers. Okay, so for us, we think that the fair metrics to ascertain that could be one, digital sales and streaming data. Now, for digital sales, that will be difficult to come by, especially when you have platforms like Aftown not really in existence, because they would have the opportunity to have such a back end since it was a paid platform. If those of you remember Aftown, you know you had to pay for your favorite artist project, either a single or an album. So if Aftown was still in existence or they were still active, they probably would have been working with the board or the academy or even the organizers to provide such data. So let's just use streaming data for starters, okay? And of course, the streaming data must be verified numbers from the recognized platforms, i.e., Spotify, Apple Music, Boomplay, Audiomack, YouTube. Okay, we can look at those as well. Then number two, you also look at social media analytics. Okay, social media analytics. Now, once again, it still comes back to the artist dashboard. Okay, I don't know how the board and the academy are going to have access to that. I don't know whether it's going to be a right thing to do to present that. But the board and the academy should find a way to look at the back end of these artists, all right, in the year under review, to arrive at such, a decision. Because if you want to look at the data on engagement from official social media accounts, that is a lot of work. So you need to look at it either from a social media management platform point of view, or you do that manually. Okay, or you have to look at the posts that these people have put out in the year under review, and the kind of engagements and conversations it started, under their posts. Okay, so somebody didn't necessarily have to post about their music or their album, but something lifestyle-ish. Something, it could be about fashion. It could be about fashion. It could be about being in the studio recording. It could be anything at all. All right, but so far as it's been able to gather enough conversations, there should be like a total number of impressions or engagements that have come as a result of these posts done by the artist in question, especially the artists in this category. So that should also be, we are still talking about high audience appeal and popularity. This is a breakdown for the highest audience appeal and popularity. So stay with me. So we've talked about digital sales and streaming data. We did say that digital sales wouldn't be a fair, or it wouldn't be potent enough because we don't have enough systems to arrive at that. We talked about social media analytics. Now we also look at another thing that I've seen people were very heavy on: concert and event attendance. Basically, this is obviously going to cover, the records, the attendance records of the concert or live events. These artists have been, the artists who have been nominated, put together or were at. Now I think this is just my opinion. I'm not saying it should be, but I think the only way this could be done fairly is if these artists, or if the considerations were done based on the artists being headliners of these events and not just supporting acts. Because if you are not a headliner for an event put together, either by yourself or by an organizer, most of the fans who are coming there for different artists. What I'm trying to say, the audience is definitely divided. Okay. So you can't really ascertain that, oh, the fans are coming there because of you. But if it's a headliner event that you put together by yourself and you are headlining the event, or an event has been put together, whether locally or internationally, and you are the headline act, the numbers will help us ascertain indeed your popularity and your appeal. Then you look at media mentions. So, some of the artists, they have a way of getting the news, or they have a way of getting the media to talk about them, even if it's not about their music. Okay, even if it's not about their music, they have a way of getting the media to talk about them. Typical example, Shatawale. Another is Sarkodie. They don't really have to drop records. They don't have to drop music, but you have the media talking about them. All right. Shatawale, obviously, for his controversial thoughts and views about certain things. In fact, last year, one of the artists in this conversation that had a lot of media mentions or conversations around him was actually Sarkodie because of the Evan Nelson book. Don't forget. So we are looking at the frequency and sentiment of media coverage from reputable sources. Okay, so this should be considered when we are talking about the high audience appeal and popularity. Then lastly, you give the power back to the public, where the public votes counts in the voting results. Now, mind you, prior to 2023, all right, um the percentage share was 30% for board, 30% for academy, and 40% for public voting. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on where you stand, that has been changed. The board now has 40, academy has 30, you and I have 30. We'll get into this conversation later, but still stay with me. So I have stated that these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things could work best to give you a fair idea or serve as fair metrics for what high audience appeal and popularity could pass for. Okay, now when you move away from that, you have what I call the most important clause of this conversation, and that is the B clause. It says, must be one of the artists with the highest nominations in the year under review. Must be one of the artists with the highest nominations in the year under review. Let us look at the nominees for this year's Artist of the Year. And I will tell you something very, very interesting that you have to see. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the list of artists nominated for Artist of the Year, and you're asking yourself, which one of them had the highest nominations this year? It is neither Stonebwoy, in terms of ranking, it's neither Stonebwoy or King Promise. The one with the highest nominations this year is Kwame Eugene. Rockstar has 18 nominations this year, but that's just by the way. Let me give you your top three, or the top three nominated artists this year, and you know that Kwame Eugene is number one with 18. Stonebwoy has 17. Initially, it would have been 15, or it is 15, but the two other nominations are coming from the Best Video Director category, and that category is awarded to the video director and the artist, and two of Stonebwoy's videos have been nominated in that category. So that two adding to his 15 becomes 17. So he's the second highest nominated artist, or highest, yes, the highest nominee. And followed by Sarkodie. Sarkodie has 8 nominations this year, and Kim Promise would fall in the number 4, number 5 order because he has 6 nominations. So, um, if I ask you, did Kwame Eugene have a hit song last year? Yes, he did. Monica was a hit song. Did he have a hit album? Yes. The album produced a number of hit songs. There was Monica. I've forgotten the two names for the sake of time. I don't want to get into it. But there were a couple of songs that, had their rounds, especially Monica being a hit song. It came at the latter part of the year, but it still did some damages. Or shall I say mid part? Yeah, mid to latter part of the year, but I still did some damages, okay? But of course, this video is for those who are gunning for either Stonebwoy or Kim Promise. But I'm telling you that based on the category definitions, Stonebwoy and Kim Promise are not the only one you need to look at. If you compare it to Stonebwoy and Kim Promise, these two names, Kwame Eugene and Sarkodie, could also be looked at per the category definition and the breakdown that we've given so far. But that's just by the way. Since it's between Stonebwoy and King Promise, according to some of you who have chosen not to look at Kwame Eugene or Sarkodie, let me break this news to you. Stonebwoy, per this category definition and what we've said so far, Stonebwoy would definitely be in the lead to win this award or this category. But brace yourself for a shocker. Prepare to be shocked on that night. Just make room for a shock. This is why I'm telling you this. During our research, we noticed that there have been some anomalies in this particular category, this particular award, which is the Artist of the Year award, for some time now. I'm sure if we were to go back into the 90s, we probably would have seen a similar trend. But I just wanted to, keep it at a very recent trend so that those who were now catching up with the award scheme will understand. I'm talking about the Gen Zs. Okay. So what do I mean? The anomalies here occurred because of how the B clause, which is obviously the highest nominated artist clause, you realize that it says it was a conjunction to the A and to the main definition. It says and he didn't say or, it says and the artist must be the highest nominated artist, or the artist could be one of the highest nominated artists. I hope I got that right. Yes, must be one of the artists with the highest nominations in the year under review. So it has to be one of them. All right. And I did mention to you that the top three, even if we are doing top three, King Promise is not in there. But the reason why I'm saying that brace yourself for a shock is there have been times where artists who were nominated in this category did not have the higher nomination, the highest nominations, and they still took the award. Ghana Music Awards, 25 years. I think it's time for you guys to look at your category definitions again. It's either it's been left like that for conversations to happen, pre or post, or it's just an oversight. Okay? It's just an unfortunate oversight. Because by the time I'm done breaking down this trend, you understand why I think it's about time they look at reviewing. They look at reviewing these categories, these category definitions again. So, where do we begin? Where do we begin? In fact, before I even go ahead, let me tell you that some people, when you look at the artists that have won, okay, you look at the artists that have won Artist of the Year in time past, you notice that. In fact, let me take you through. Let's start from 2014. No, let's start from 2010. I'll make a case here. In 2010, Sarkodie won it. 2011 VIP, 2012 Sarkodie, 2013 R2Bs, 2014 Shatawale, 2015 Stonebwoy, 2016 EL, 2017 Joe Metal, 2018 Ebony Reigns, a posthumous award. 2019 was unannounced. For those of you who don't remember, that was when the Stonebwoy Shatawale scuffle happened. And people argued that it should have gone or it could have gone to Stonebwoy, but that didn't happen. We'll leave it to the reigns of uncertainty. 2020, you have Kwame Eugene. What do we call it? 2021, you have Diana Hamilton. 2022, you have Kitty. And last year, 2023, you have Black Sheriff. So, per this list, the only person who seems to have won it twice is Sarkodie. Okay. Now, there is this conspiracy theory that the award scheme is known to not give the Artist of the Year award to the same artist more than once. So if you look at the list I went through right now, in fact, when you even go beyond or you go, how do I say it? Beyond or be okay. When you go before 2010, since 2010, when you go before 2010 or you go before, say, let's start from 2008, you notice that the artists of the year have been different. They haven't been the same artists throughout. It's only Sarkodie who broke that deadlock, making it twice in history for that to happen. In fact, there have been conversations that he could have won it a particular year, but I'll get into that. So Sarkodie broke that conspiracy theory, but then he came back to regular programming. Not a single artist or not an artist bar Sarkodie has won it twice. Okay, it's always been close, but they don't get to win it. So I decided to put together a list of artists or the years that these things have happened. So starting from 2015, um, Sarkodie, who had won it in 2010 and 2014, could have won it in 2015, but he didn't make it a record third time because he lost it to Stonebwoy. And this is what I mean by once again paying attention to the B clause, highest nominations and highest nominations. Sarkodie was the highest nominated artist in that category, in that Artist of the Year category, with 10 nominations. He had 10 nominations, whereas his closest contender, who actually won it, Stonebwoy, had only 7. Okay, that is one. Two, in 2017, Medical had 7 nominations. In fact, that was the year that Medical did not take home anything, if I'm not mistaken. That was the year he only brought his girlfriend, then Debbie, and then took her back home. The rest was history. And Joe Metal had 4 nominations, and Joe Metal won the Art of the Year award for the first time in the history of the award scheme. In fact, that year, the controversy, in fact, Joe Metal himself, even though he said he was looking forward to it, I'm sure he was shocked when it was given to him, but that's another conversation for another day. The song that obviously did it for him was Owawani, because he used that song to also win Gospel Art of the Year in that year. 2021, Dinah Hamilton. Hey, Hammer, Hammer. Halla halla. Diana Hamilton won this award over Kiddy. Those of you remember in 2021, Kiddy had the Golden Boy album, had a number of hits from that album. But for some strange reason, Diana Hamilton won it over Kiddy. And here's where it gets interesting. Kiddy had 9 nominations, arguably higher than Dinah, and Dinah had 6 nominations. Okay, so comparatively, Dinah was 3 nominations short in matching Kiddy, or even being at par, or of course being the highest nominated artist in that category. She won that category with Adam. Okay. 2022, Kiddy will come back and come and take his thing. Even though in that year, his label mate Kwame Eugene was the highest nominated artist in that year. He had about 16 nominations. And I think in that year, he only won 1 award or so. I said more. 2023. Now, Kiddy actually had 2022. Kiddy had only 8 nominations. Kwame Eugene had 60 nominations, and Kiddy had to take it. They had to give it to him. They had to give it to him. Do you see where this is going? Okay. In 2023, PSC Esther will lift her head in fact, a few days or a week to, or I think a week and some days, to the main night to give Black Sheriff a run for his money. I mean, in that year, everybody, including me, obviously thought Black Sheriff was undisputed. Then all of a sudden, PSC Esther, or PA, Bisese our table of men, but glory be to God. In all things, we give thanks to God. She could have taken it, but I tell you what, in 2023, that year, the criteria for the voting percentages, or the voting percentages for the award scheme, got reviewed by the organizers. This time, they've taken the power from the public and they've given it to the board. What do I mean? Previously, the public had 40% voting power. The board had 30, the academy had 30. This time, in fact, from 2023 to date, the board now has 40, the academy has 30, and the public has 30. So it is believed that what could have happened with the likes of Joe Metal and Dana Hamilton, where the church came through for them with their voting power, overturning and tilting it, making it a close contention, has been taken away from the public, because the church, the church and their numbers, you can't compete. All right. And this change in the criteria started some conversations, the change in the percentages, because this award scheme is supposed to be an award scheme based on popularity. Okay. And so that conversation is another conversation we can have for another day. So PSC Esther could have become the shocker, although she had 6 nominations and Blacko having 11 nominations. There could have been another shocker in there, but Blacko got the award, or Blacko took the most coveted award, or the most coveted category in that year on that night. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that based on this alone, the fact that the conspiracy theory has proven over time that they don't give the same award twice in a long time. All right, it's been close to 10 years now. They don't give the same award to the same artist twice, unless, of course, there is no contention whatsoever. They are most likely going to give the award to their closest contender against the obvious. Okay, so there is that as well. So have that in mind. And also, don't forget that the part where they say and have the highest nomination or has the highest nominations, no, it depends on who is behind the board. It depends because that might not even play a role in this conversation. So I'm just saying that I've done this video to draw your attention to what you should expect. I've done this video to let you know that there are going to be some shocks. It's not even exclusive to the Art of the Year category. There are other categories that you should expect other shockers from or other shocks from. And you can use this template to ascertain their winners, and then we can come back and have a conversation. But in the meantime, this is what I want you guys to know or pay attention to in our judging the winner for this year's Artist of the Year. We'll come back and talk about this after the award is given to whomever deserves. But until then, the name is Olele Salvador, aka Mr. DTS or aka DTS. I'll leave you here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, please don't forget to show some love, do some likes, share the link if you can, and then of course hit the notification bell when you do, so that you don't get to miss out on our next upload. I'll be back again same time in the next video, and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.